Morning, Zach. How are you today?
Feeling a little goofy, my friend, in all honesty. How you doing?
I don't want to say you look a little goofy, but you certainly are acting a little goofy. I didn't say you're looking goofy. Hey, forget goofy. Remember this. There's one thing in life you really want to do, and that's find the best car price. And the best place to find the best car price is at findthebestcarprice.com/insider, where our good friend Jeff and his team have aggregated all the information, not alligated the information, but aggregated all the information from all the manufacturers regarding makes and models and all the consumer programs that are available for those vehicles. So if you want to find the best car price, go to findthebestcarprice.com/insider, and our good friend Jeff and his team, they'll take good care of you.
That was a close one. I actually put gel in my hair today, so I'm really working. We're leveling up.
You're gelling, buddy.
Not goofy.
Yeah. I actually put nothing in my hair.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
You did get a good-looking haircut, though.
Thank you.
So here's what we're talking about today, Dad. We found some interesting data. We were scouring the web. So this actually comes from, I'll link to it down in the description below. It comes from a website called drivingsales.com, which is a dealer. Like, if you work in the car business, it's a forum for people that work in the car business. So we're going all the way. We're going deep for this data.
The only forum I ever went to before was the Forum Shops at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. So
there you go.
This is either a step up or a step down. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, I don't know. You can socially distance on an online forum better than you can in person. So for now,
perfect.
It's a step up.
Okay, good. We're stepping up.
The data actually comes from a company called Four Eyes, which I'll link to that down below as well, but there's all sorts of interesting information. Today, however, we're going to focus on 2021 inventory levels because we do a lot of videos talking about used car prices and supply and things like that. And you know what? There are also supposedly 17 million new car buyers each year. And it's important to understand what the inventory levels are for the different OEMs and manufacturers because that will directly influence how likely they are to have not only manufacturer incentives, but also when you're negotiating at the dealership, how likely the dealer is to want to discount off of their price.
Yes.
And this becomes so clear how important this is because you can look at like the brand that has the least amount of 2021 inventory, which also could be a foreshadow for like the future of this company, is our dear friend
Nissan. Nissan somehow has managed, and let's be fair to everybody, if we can for a second. Typically, we're at a time of year where we would be into the next model year. In a typical year, I can tell you when I was with Mini and BMW, well, we would start to receive the next model year Minis and BMWs in late July and early August. So in a typical year, a Mini dealership would have started receiving 2021 Minis in July.
Yeah.
BMW would have started receiving 2021 BMWs in July. And then we had this thing called the pandemic, and they shut down factories for 60 to 90 days. And I thought, this is just me, I thought that most of the manufacturers, when they reopened, would just switch over to the 2021 model year as opposed to still producing 2020s. Apparently, not all the manufacturers did that. And obviously, if you're at a Nissan dealership, less than 0.2% of your inventory at the moment is 2021s. So it means they expect to continue to sell the 2020s for quite some time. Now, as much as we want to pick on Nissan, I can tell you that Ford has 0.7% of their current inventory is 2021. So, it's not just Nissan that has kind of fallen behind the eight ball a little bit when it comes to bringing out the new 2021s. But by delaying the 2021s, it gives the manufacturers more time to continue to sell the 2020s. But then, it means that there's going to be a shortage of vehicles.
I mean, imagine you're in the market for a 2021 F-150. I mean, Nope.
Yeah, you're still in the market.
Yeah.
And you will.
Not
and
only
you will
are you still in the market,
yeah,
you're gonna be paying buco bucks.
well, that's been going on for quite some time. Now, I will tell you, when you look at some of these numbers, and we sort of started at the bottom, so I guess maybe we should go from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Jaguar Land Rover is just under 2% of their on-hand inventory right now at their dealerships as 2021s. Fiat Chrysler, 8.1%. Mazda's a little over 10%. Mercedes a little over 11%. GM's at about 12.5%. And then you start getting into your import brands, and they're the ones where you see a higher percentage of current inventory being 2021s. Honda's at 14.6. Volkswagen is at 16.4% of their inventory is 2021s. Toyota, just under 18%. Subaru, who saw sales decline month over month for the first time in, I think, 11 or 12 years, where it happened this year because of the pandemic. Well, their current inventory levels represent a little over 27.5% of their inventory is 2021s. Hyundai, 29%. Now, I remember at the beginning I mentioned that Mini and BMW typically bring out their next model year in July, the end of July, and BMW has 45% of their vehicles on the ground right now as 2021s. And believe it or not, the one with the most, and almost half of the inventory on the ground, is Kia at 49% of their
they're all
inventory.
Tellurides.
Well, if they were Tellurides, they'd be happy. I guarantee you, they're not all Tellurides. They'd like them to be, but they're sitting pretty at 49% of their inventory being 2021s.
So you end up with this.
If you're looking for a 2021, Kia, BMW, Hyundai, Subaru, they're the brands where you're going to find the most. And then the other brands, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle or a little bit of a wait.
And there were some outliers on that list. Like, for example, Mercedes-Benz has actually a pretty large proportion of their new inventory still 2019 vehicles, which I found super interesting. It was like 7%, which is interesting because we're moving into a whole new model year, and there's still just all these vehicles on the ground that are older. And so when you look at this from a manufacturer, you can't paint a broad stroke on the auto industry of like, okay, it's September, so I'm going to go get a deal on a 2021. Nope. Sure, maybe if it's a Kia, maybe if it's a BMW, not if it's a Mercedes-Benz, not if it's a Ford or a Nissan. And so it's interesting to look at data on this kind of granular level, and it ties back into the market price report that we're working on back at Your Auto Advocate. We'll put some stuff up on the screen so you can see that, because not only do you need to understand the big picture trends at the manufacturer level, but then on a per vehicle basis, like based off of the year, the make, the model, and the trim, how many days has it been on the dealer's lot? What's the market day supply of this type of vehicle in my region? Not what's the distribution of inventory, but the market days supply. How long does it take to usually sell one of these of the same vehicle in this area? You start to gather that type of information, which the market price report does for you. Then you can be a more informed new car buyer. And it works for used cars as well, of course. But that's the type of information paired with this understanding of the distribution of model year that can help you take that next step more, confidently.
Well, and the other thing that this does for you is if dealers still have 2019s, and they do.
Yeah.
And I believe Four Eyes Data did some research on that. And the percentage of discount for a 2019 is approaching 15%. Off of MSRP for those cars.
If you're interested in a whole video on that, comment down below, let us know, because we could dive into the pricing and the discounting based off of manufacturer, based off of model year. We think it's interesting. We'll probably do the video regardless, but let us know.
Yeah, but my point was going to be that if you're on a 2020, the discount might be 9 or 10% off of MSRP, and if you're on a 2021, the discounts could range as low as 2 to 3%. So you can see that if there's a shortage of 2021s and you're looking to buy one, you're not going to get nearly as good a deal on that as you would on a 2020. Or if the dealer has a model that you could be interested in that was a 2019, that's where the real savings is going to be. If it's a 2019 that's been sitting on a dealer's lot for a year and a half, you're going to be able to work a much more aggressive deal to save yourself some money. So
Exactly.
I mean, it's some really interesting data when you look at this as to how some brands are so far behind the 8 ball and other brands are, well, so far ahead of everybody else.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's important to look at it on a manufacturer by manufacturer basis, because it's so easy to say, it's September, the model year flipped, I'm going to go get that Subaru. Nope, the percentage of discounting is actually way different at Subaru than it is at Nissan, or way different at Subaru than it would be, at Ford and whatnot. So it's very, very compelling to dive in and look at it on a manufacturer by manufacturer basis, and that's what we're here to do, is to bring that to light for you.
Yeah, because what's one of my favorite sayings? Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power, Dad, and you provide it to the people.
No, we provide it to the people.
Love it, Dad. Thank you for your...
At Your Auto Advocate, that's where we provide it to the people. Yeah. Got to throw in a promo for us, yeah.
All right, Pops. Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, honey. I'll talk to you later.
Catch you then.
Yep. Bye-bye.